Hola, ¿qué tal? Español 3. Yo sé que el señor Jordan de los videos de YouTube explicó el imperativo en la forma tú muy bien, pero voy a repasarlo. So, here goes my little review. Y también voy a enseñarles las formas irregulares y negativos. Because last time you only did affirmative commands. And so when we're talking about affirmative commands, nothing says affirmative command like Clint Eastwood pointing at you. Um, the way that Senor Jordan did it is he said you just conjugate in the el, ea, or usted form. I essentially say the same thing, except for I would just say it's like conjugating in the to form and then dropping the s, which is like the third person of the present tense. Or you can just do the present tense. If it helps you to think, oh yeah, I'm doing a to form command, then maybe I just use the present tense to form and then drop the s for the affirmative commands. Because you're like so passionate about commanding someone that you just don't have time to throw that s on there. So instead of hablas, it's habla, like you're telling someone to talk. Or instead of comes, come. Or instead of bailas, baila, right? All of these things, you just drop the S and it turns into a command magically. So comes becomes come, hablas become habla. Now, last time in the closing activity, I did allude to the fact that there are some irregulars, and these irregulars are this: ven is from venir, di is from decir, sal is from salir, haz is from hacer, ten is from tener, ve is from go, ir, pon is from poner, and se is from ser. And if you look at the way that I organized it, this is how I memorized these. It's Vin Diesel has 10 weapons. 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 That's how I memorize it. So here's a little understanding check real quick to see if you know how to do these irregulars, what these belong to. Okay. Next. In addition to the irregulars, you've also got some negative to commands. And this is super easy. This is also going to roll over into how we do usted form commands and y'all form commands. You essentially just use the subjunctive. So if it's an affirmative command, and it's an irregular, use one of these, or you just do the regular present tense and drop the s. That's affirmative commands, meaning a positive command. Yes, I want you to eat. Eat. Yes, I want you to dance. Dance. Yes, I want you to run. Run. But if it's a negative command, you use the subjunctive. No hables, no digas, no bailes, no hagas eso, no salgas, no comas esa pizza, no toques mi oreja, no no hables así. Like, so if you want to make it a negative command, you use the subjunctive form and put a no in front of it. And you now have all of the to form commands at your disposal. If it's affirmative, you just use the regular to form and drop the s. If it's a negative, you use the subjunctive. And if it's an irregular affirmative, then you do Vin Diesel has 10 weapons. One thing that's important to note is that if it's one of these irregular verbs, it's the irregulars only apply to the affirmative commands. Even if it's like venir or decir or salir or hacer, negative commands, it's still just the subjunctive. No hagas, no digas, no vengas, no vayas, no pongas, no seas. Does that make sense? Cool. Theoretically, you should have everything that you need to know to boss people around in the to form in Espanol. So here's some practice. Since this is on EdPuzzle, here's an awkward silence for number 1, and an awkward silence for number 2, and an awkward silence for number 3, and an awkward silence for number 4, 5, for number 6, and number 7. All right, I hope those all went well for you, and you have a wonderful rest of your class. There's just one exit ticket after this EdPuzzle. Yeah, bye.